What's good, YouTube family? It's your man Danny back at it with another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Before you know it's gonna be another one, and another one right after that one. Yeah, back at it to hit y'all with another edition of the MonkMode Chronicles. But before we get into all of that, I want to definitely ask that you like the video, interact with me in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, email me, DannyGoodman03@gmail.com. Also follow me on my social media _Danny_Goodman, Instagram and Twitter. If you would like to support the channel, please feel free to support via Cash App at $DGZ1985. Details in the description box below. Also be on the lookout for much more content coming, and hopefully I can finalize some designs and possibly get some merchandise going. So if I can get some of those things on the way, y'all can look to see some merchandise soon. And for anybody who might be interested in maybe like some hoodies and t-shirts, stuff like that, maybe even backpacks and stuff like that. I just want to ask y'all to stay tuned. Be on the lookout for your boy. But today we're going to be dealing with another version of the MonkMode Chronicles. Today we're going to be dealing with strength. And I must emphasize that we're not going to be dealing with necessarily physical strength, though. You know, when you're in monk mode and you're staying from, being physically active and relationally with women, you're not necessarily trying to date chicks and smash them and all that kind of stuff. You take some time off to, be to yourself by yourself, reflect, focus, build yourself up, build your confidence up, set some goals, smash them, elevate, grow. This is that time, that you just kind of take focus on yourself. A lot of times we find as men, we expend so much energy and time and effort chasing women. But how much time do we, if one, I gotta go her as far as spiritually, but how much time do we dedicate or allocate towards chasing our spirituality, our God, yet alone, how much time do we designate or allocate towards ourselves and building ourselves up? So it's definitely a great time in a man's life for them to isolate themselves and to lock in on being the man who they want to be. It's not something a man has to necessarily partake in for the rest of their life if they choose not to. Though for a man who wants to be in monk mode, on a longer term basis, more power to that brother, and kudos to that brother. And I hope that they get out of monk mode everything that they want and need out of monk mode. But we're going to be dealing not necessarily with physical strength, but we're going to be dealing with spiritual strength, mental and intellectual strength, and emotional strength. Because, when you make a declaration that you're going to be in monk mode, and again, you're abstaining from physical relationships with women, dating and trying to please them, appease them, just, you're taking time away from extending or expending energy, focus, time, money on a woman. It's definitely not easy, though, because in today's society, man, the flesh is active. Oh man, it's just, man, these chicks is everywhere, man. I'm telling you, man, I see them everywhere, man. I see these women See chicks, man, they at the gym, they at the stores, restaurants, gas stations, they on a bus, parks, downtown, man, they everywhere, man. And then it's like wherever you see them, they looking good. You know what I mean? Not just at the gym, though at the gym, it's a lot of sexy women at the gym flaunting their bodies. Some of them got cute faces, some of them not really, but they still got the bomb bodies, and then they all in the compression and tights and all that. So it's like, wow, man, there's so many beautiful women in the world, man. Because you see, not only you see them in the gym, but just going to the store, man. A lot of chicks, they would dress as if they going to the gym, whether they went to the gym earlier or they're going later, or if they not even going to the gym. But that's what's going down out here, man. These chicks out here, and the restaurants, gas station, they on the buses, beautiful women on the bus. Obviously you can meet, women at the gas station, and all that kind of stuff, but they downtown, they at the parks and all that. So with that being said, if you at a place where you trying to get away from all of this activity, or if you at a place where you gotta be amongst, a lot of activity, or a lot of, women being in a concentrated area, whatever the case is, it could cause a constant inner war with self, and I find this in my life is that, sometimes I see a beautiful woman, I get to second guessing monk mode sometimes, because like, man, she is nice, and then she looking at me and stuff, we looking at each other and stuff like that. It's just like, man, it definitely takes some strength to persist and to strive to continue being in monk mode, because these are going to be some weaknesses that I'm going to list. These weaknesses are definitely things that I deal with, that I feel that I got to acknowledge, and I got to not only just acknowledge, but I got to accept these certain weaknesses that even I still battle, and I just got to come up with a plan to attack those, which I do, and we're going to cover those. But we're going to get it started with the weaknesses. I mean, when it comes to weaknesses, we got lust, on a macro level, looking at the lust of the eyes, and you just, as you analyze and you go in all these places and you just seeing so many women, it's just like, you might want to get to know her, you might want to approach her, or you might want to date her, you might want to smash her. But, this is a weakness, as we go through life, there's a humanistic desire to want to be with a woman. It's natural for a man and things of that nature. But, being in monk mode, we are abstaining. This is a time that we're abstaining, we're holding out, and we're, finding self-validation. We're not necessarily needing to have validation from a chick if she gives us a number, or she lets us take her out to eat, or if she lets us hit. We're not accepting cheap validation. We're only going to accept our own validation. So lust is definitely a weakness, and it's something that I war with in my life, and in my inner wars amongst myself. Pride being another one. Thinking and knowing, that I can have who and what I want. When I'm at those situations where a chick might be looking at me, or we looking at each other, whatever it is, and it's like, man, I know I can have her. I know I can do whatever I want with her. You know what I'm saying? Like having that confidence and that pride. But that's something I war with. So then it's like having that moment, like, yeah, I know I can have her. And then what's the next step? Is that going to make me want to go over there and get a number and do all this on stuff and then throw out monk mode? Or am I going to resort to a higher way? You know what I mean? This is an inner war that I face often. Coveting, on the macro level, dealing with the lust of the eyes, you know what I'm saying? It's not, out of seeing all of these women that I come across with, on a daily basis or whatever, but to come across that specific chick, and it's like, man, I want her, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, a lot of chicks, when you see them, you meet them for the first time, the first impression or whatever the case of them, you don't know, they might not even come across as being married. They might be somebody's wife, you know what I'm saying? They might be somebody's fiance. They might be somebody baby mama, you know what I'm saying? It might be somebody girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, that's an inner war within me, because it's like, initially I don't know if she married, if she not wearing a ring, or if she engaged, or whatever her situation is. But it's like, for a woman to put herself out there visually to attract, it's rough, being a man trying to navigate through life, and then specifically endeavoring to be in monk mode. It's rough, it's an inner war that I definitely face. So far, weaknesses that, we face, or I face specifically, and inner warring with myself, is lust, pride, and coveting. And then another one is a war that goes back and forth with self-validation and insecurity. There are heights and lows, just depending on somebody's mental and emotional health at the time. Somebody could feel real good about themselves, and they gung-ho on just, self-validating themselves, and they in a good place. They're feeling good about life and things as well, and they're successful and hitting their goals or whatever the case is. But on the flip side, somebody might have a day where their mental and emotional health isn't so well. That maybe they have fell into some depression for some kind of reason or another. Some kind of condition came across, and it changed their emotional state, at the time. So the war between self-validation versus insecurity, this is something that even I face. For a couple of examples, like, I'm a fairly attractive male. I would consider myself. I consider myself to be a nice looking man. And so say for instance, I get confirmation when I say for instance I'm at the gym and chicks is looking at me and stuff like that, and it could be like a boost of my ego and make me feel good about myself, boost of confidence, and I'll be feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? Versus, on the flip side, when I'm, say for instance, at the bus stop waiting on the bus or whatever, and depending on what side of town I'm at, but like if I'm at a nicer part of town and people passing by in luxury vehicles and stuff like that, it could be a situation where a person might look at me low, you know what I'm saying? They might look at me at the bus stop and be like, man, this dude here, they might look at me low, and consider and prejudge me, you know what I'm saying? So, showing the heights and the lows, that could definitely be a war mentally and emotionally when it goes to, self-validation versus, insecurity. But for the most part, I've learned how to overcome these with these weapons. I'll say weapons. So one, when it comes to spiritually, when I'm dealing with my spiritual strength and dealing with some of the inner wars that I deal with in myself, especially dealing with like lust and pride and coveting, I got to always look to where my strength comes from, which is the Most High, God, the Father and the Son, Jesus and Jesus Christ. because I strive to live a life of being a true servant of God. I strive to live a life where I'm following His commandments, keeping His statutes, His judgments, and the faith of Jesus. And I just truly strive to walk a straight and narrow life and stay humble. Because I understand that it is God who wakes me, who keeps me safe and provides for me. So, just knowing that I'm blessed, and I'm just, again, I'm just striving to be a true servant of God, that helps me to keep pretty much in check. Like when I see a bad chick and I don't want to go overboard over no chick. Oh yeah, she fine, but she married, and I don't want to smash her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got morals and things that are instilled in me. I got principles and morals and laws and statutes and commandments that are instilled in me that I couldn't cross those borders just because a chick fine. With the lust in the eyes and pride. Even if I could have a married chick, she looking at me or whatever the case is, that don't mean I gotta go over there and violate, their relationship, my relationship with God, all that. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean I gotta violate none of that. You know what I'm saying? Or covenant. So definitely, just coming to grips and staying humble and looking up towards where my strength ultimately comes from. Helps me with a lot of those weaknesses, dealing with spiritual attacks, dealing with lust and pride and coveting. But another weapon when dealing with some mental and intellectual strength. Whenever I'm seeing a beautiful woman and lust and coveting, and stuff like that is triggering. I have to be indifferent and nonchalant and just keep a level mindset. Stay level minded, and during that practice desirelessness and contentment. Because if I'm practicing desirelessness and contentment and I'm being indifferent and nonchalant, I see a beautiful woman, that would definitely help counter lust and pride and covenant. It's like, yeah, she beautiful, yeah, she fine, yeah. I mean, back 15 years ago, yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind, whatever. But it's like just being indifferent and just keeping a level mind, and just with me being in monk mode, just making it an emphasis to focus on practicing on desirelessness, you know what I'm saying, and being content. Another weapon is staying solid to my principles, and this is also this could help emotionally as well, along with basically being indifferent. But when you are staying solid, it don't matter how fine or bad, sexy she is, how fat her booty is, or whatever, how tight them compression shorts are, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When lust and coveting and pride comes around, you know what I'm saying? What ultimately neutralizes all of that when it comes to the lust of the eyes and wanting to be with a chick is this, staying solid to the principles, being in monk mode, man. If no choosing is being involved, if she ain't choosing, that equals no approach. So no choosing. If she ain't choosing, all right, and I'm talking about a medium to hard choose. Like, she giving you attention. She's staring at you. She done smiled at you, smirked at you, waved at you, or asked you how you doing today, or something. You know what I mean? No choosing equals no approach. So sticking solid on that helps me with my lust and pride and coveting. Because I don't care how bad a chick is, if she ain't into me, not worried about me, I'm cool. And this is some inner strength, like a mug. Because I'm telling you, man, there's some beautiful women in this world, I'll tell you. And then even to add on to that, I mean, even sometimes choosing might still equal no approach. That's what I've come to grips on nowadays. Because I mean, it's times where a chick is looking at me and we're looking at each other, and I still don't approach her. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got. I think of the end game, and it's like, okay, yeah, I see you looking at me. I'm looking at you. I don't want to go over there and get your number because I don't want to take you on no date, and I don't want to be your boyfriend. I don't even want to marry you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, about 15 years ago, I would have smashed you, but I mean, I don't even want to smash you because I don't want to even be caught up in all that stuff, mentally, emotionally, getting caught up. So, I think of the end game, and that kind of helps with all of the weaknesses. But another thing that could help, another weapon, is genuinely being happy, having genuine happiness and peace, having intrinsic happiness and intrinsic peace, basically just being fully aligned. When you're fully aligned and you intrinsically happy and peaceful, it ain't no gap for no woman to fill in your life. You know what I'm saying? If you are already happy and at peace, what's the point of having? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's another reason why it's like, man, I'm at a place of really, I'm truly happy. I'm truly at peace. It ain't nothing that a woman can help me with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see detriment if I'm already at happiness and peace. I see detriment if I'm going to add an individual and place them into my world. I see detriment. I don't see anything getting even better if I'm already at a peaceful and happy place. I just don't see the benefit of introducing a woman to my world. I just don't see it. So that definitely helps. But at the end of the day, again, missing out on a chick isn't a missed opportunity in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So, just gotta stay solid out here. But hopefully somebody got out something out this. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with strength. MonkMode Chronicles, we're dealing with strength. We're kind of dealing with some of the weaknesses that me specifically I face, with inner wars, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, as I navigate through life in this world. But also, some of the weapons that we can deploy to help counter such weaknesses, which at the end of the day, if we can overcome those weaknesses, we will gain strength. And we're not talking about physical strength, but we're talking about spiritual strength, mental and intellectual strength, and emotional strength. Guard your strength, brothers. Guard your strength. But I hope somebody got something out of this. I'm not going to keep this too long. Like the video, interact with me in the comments, subscribe to the channel, email me DannyGoodman03@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, _Danny_Goodman. Feel free to support the channel via Cash App, $DJeezy1985. Look out for more content to come very, 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 very soon. Got a bit in the chamber, just got to drop them. But y'all stay on the lookout also for potentially some possible merchandise coming very soon as well. So, things is looking good. I'll be looking out for your boy. But until next time, I'm out. Peace.